Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Easy English Talk Podcast. I am Ryan, and it is wonderful to have you here with us today. Hey, Priya, how has your day been going so far?
Hi, Ryan. My day has been good. Thank you for asking. I have actually been reflecting on relationships and friendships quite a bit today. How about you? How has your day been treating you?
It has been great, thanks. I have been preparing for this conversation, and I think it is going to be a really meaningful one for our listeners. So before we begin, I want to ask our wonderful listeners, where are you watching or listening from right now?
Yes, we would love to know. Are you at home? Maybe on a walk? Taking a break from work? Or relaxing somewhere? Please let us know in the comments below. We read every single one.
And also, we really want to hear from you about something important. Is this podcast helping you improve your English? Is it helping you grow as a person and navigate life's challenges with more clarity?
Your feedback truly matters to us and helps us create better content for you. So please share your thoughts, your experiences, and your stories with us in the comments.
Absolutely. Your support and your openness inspire us to keep creating these honest conversations every single week. So thank you for being here and for being part of this thoughtful community. Today, we are discussing how to gracefully end a friendship that is no longer healthy.
And I know this is a sensitive and difficult topic for many people. Ending a friendship can feel just as painful as ending a romantic relationship, sometimes even more so. But sometimes it is absolutely necessary for your well-being and growth.
Exactly. If you clicked on this episode, you are probably in a friendship that doesn't feel right anymore, and you're wondering how to handle it with respect and dignity. By the end of this conversation, you will understand the signs of an unhealthy friendship, why it is okay to let go, and exactly how to end things gracefully, without unnecessary drama or pain.
Yes, and we will give you practical language, strategies, and emotional tools to navigate this difficult situation with maturity and kindness. This is not about being cruel or cutting people off harshly. This is about honoring yourself and the other person while making a necessary change.
Perfect. So let us start by exploring what makes a friendship unhealthy in the first place. Priya, what are the signs that a friendship is no longer serving you well?
Great question. The first major sign is consistent negativity. If every conversation leaves you feeling drained, criticized, or worse about yourself, that is a problem. Healthy friendships should uplift you most of the time, not consistently bring you down.
So you finish conversations feeling exhausted or bad about yourself instead of energized and supported. That is a clear signal something is wrong.
Exactly. And the second sign is one-sided effort. You are always the one reaching out, making plans, asking questions, showing interest, but the other person rarely reciprocates or makes you feel like you matter to them.
So the friendship feels unbalanced. You are giving constantly but receiving very little. That imbalance creates resentment over time.
Yes, and the third sign is lack of trust or respect. Maybe they gossip about you, break your confidence, dismiss your feelings, or cross your boundaries repeatedly. Without trust and respect, there is no real friendship.
So you can't be yourself around them or share honestly because you don't trust them without vulnerability. That makes the friendship shallow and unsafe.
Exactly. Fourth sign is constant drama or conflict. Every interaction involves some kind of problem, argument, misunderstanding, or emotional crisis. The friendship feels like work instead of joy.
So instead of being a source of peace and support in your life, the friendship adds stress and complication. That's the opposite of what friendship should be.
Yes, and fifth sign is growth in different directions. Sometimes friendships end not because anyone did something wrong, but simply because you have become different people with different values, interests, and life paths. You no longer connect the way you used to.
So there's no anger or betrayal, just a natural drifting apart. You realize you don't have much in common anymore, and conversations feel forced or empty.
Exactly. And one more important sign is if the friendship negatively affects other areas of your life. Maybe it impacts your mental health, your other relationships, your work, or your self-esteem. When one friendship damages your overall well-being, that is serious.
So you notice yourself becoming more anxious, depressed, insecure, or isolated because of this friendship. That is a red flag that cannot be ignored.
Yes, so those are the main signs. Consistent negativity, one-sided effort, lack of trust and respect, constant drama, growing in different directions, and negative impact on your overall well-being. If you recognize several of these, your friendship may be unhealthy.
So why is it so hard for people to end friendships even when they recognize these signs? Why do people stay in unhealthy friendships for so long?
The first reason is history and nostalgia. Maybe you've been friends for years or decades. You shared important experiences together. Ending the friendship feels like erasing that history or admitting it didn't matter.
So people think we've been friends for so long, I can't just throw that away. But actually keeping a friendship just because of history when it's currently unhealthy doesn't honor that history. It just creates more pain.
Exactly. And the second reason is guilt. People feel like ending a friendship makes them a bad person, especially if the friend hasn't done anything obviously terrible. They think, they didn't cheat or betray me, so I have no right to end it.
But you don't need a dramatic reason to end a friendship. You are allowed to end it simply because it no longer feels good or healthy. Your well-being is a valid enough reason.
Yes, and the third reason is fear of conflict or confrontation. People hate difficult conversations. They would rather suffer silently in an unhealthy friendship than face the discomfort of ending it.
So they ghost the person, slowly fade away, or just become distant instead of having an honest conversation. That often creates more pain and confusion for everyone.
Exactly. Fourth reason is social pressure or mutual friends. If you share a friend group, ending one friendship might complicate all your relationships. People fear losing the whole group or creating awkwardness.
So they stay in an unhealthy friendship to keep the peace in the larger group. But sacrificing your well-being for social convenience is not sustainable or healthy.
No, it is not. And fifth reason is simply not knowing how to do it. People have never learned how to end a friendship gracefully. They don't know what to say or how to approach it, so they do nothing.
So they are paralyzed by uncertainty. They know something needs to change, but they don't know the actual steps to take. That is exactly why we're having this conversation today.
Exactly. So those are the reasons people stay stuck. History and nostalgia, guilt, fear of confrontation, social complications, and lack of knowledge about how to do it properly.
Perfect. So now let's talk about the solution. How do you actually end a friendship gracefully and respectfully? What are the steps?
The first step is to be absolutely sure this is what you want. Do not make this decision impulsively during an argument or bad moment. Take time to reflect seriously. Is this friendship truly unhealthy, or are you just going through a rough patch?
So you're making a thoughtful decision, not an emotional reaction. Maybe journal about it. Talk to a counselor or a trusted person. Really examine whether ending the friendship is the right choice.
Exactly. And ask yourself, have I communicated my concerns clearly? Sometimes friendships can be saved if you have an honest conversation about what's bothering you. But if you have tried and nothing changes, then ending it may be necessary.
So you give the friendship a genuine chance to improve before deciding to end it. You make sure you did your part to address problems honestly.
Yes, and once you are certain this is the right decision, the second step is to choose your method based on the situation. There are different ways to end a friendship, and the right method depends on the relationship's history, intensity, and circumstances.
Can you explain the different methods people can choose from?
Sure. The first method is the direct conversation. This is best for close, long-term friendships where you genuinely care about the person despite needing to end the relationship. You meet in person or call them and have an honest, kind conversation.
So you show respect for the history and depth of the friendship by giving them a proper conversation instead of just disappearing. What would that conversation actually sound like?
You might say something like, I value our history together, but I have been feeling like our friendship is not working for me anymore. We have grown in different directions, and I think it is best if we take some space. I wish you well.
So you are honest but kind. You acknowledge the relationship's value while clearly stating that it needs to end. You're not blaming or attacking, just stating your decision.
Exactly. And you keep it brief. Do not over-explain or get drawn into a long debate. State your decision clearly and kindly, then end the conversation.
What is the second method?
The second method is the gradual fade. This works for friendships that are less intense or where a direct conversation might create unnecessary drama. You slowly reduce contact, become less available, and let the friendship naturally drift apart.
So you do not suddenly cut them off. You just stop initiating contact, respond less frequently, keep conversation surface level, and create natural distance over time.
Yes, and this method is gentler and less confrontational. It allows both people to move on without a painful conversation. However, it only works if the other person is not actively pursuing the friendship.
Right. If they keep reaching out and asking what is wrong, then the gradual fade becomes unkind avoidance. In that case, you need a more direct approach.
Exactly. The third method is setting clear boundaries without fully ending contact. This works when you want to keep the person in your life, but in a much smaller, more limited way.
So you might say, I cannot be as available as I used to be. I need to focus on other priorities right now. We can catch up occasionally, but I cannot maintain our previous level of closeness.
Yes, you're honest about the change while leaving room for a lighter, more distant connection. This works well for work friendships or friendships within a larger group where you cannot completely avoid the person.
And what about situations where the friendship is actually toxic or harmful? How do you handle that?
In those cases, a clean break might be necessary. You might send one clear message saying, "I need to end our friendship for my own well-being. I wish you the best, but I need to move forward separately." Then you block or remove them from your life.
So you are not cruel, but you are firm and final. You do not leave room for negotiation or continued contact. You protect yourself clearly.
Exactly. So those are the 4 main methods: direct conversation for important friendships, gradual fade for less intense ones, boundary setting for partial distance, and clean break for toxic situations. Choose based on your specific circumstances.
Perfect. So once you have chosen your method and taken action, what comes next? How do you handle the aftermath?
Great question. The 3rd step is managing your emotions and expectations. Ending a friendship will likely bring up complex feelings like sadness, guilt, relief, anger, or grief. All of these are completely normal and valid.
So you give yourself permission to feel whatever you feel without judgment. You don't pressure yourself to feel only relief or only sadness. Emotions are complicated.
Exactly. And allow yourself to grieve. Even if ending the friendship was the right decision, you can still miss the person or the friendship you used to have. Grief and certainty can coexist.
So you might be absolutely sure you made the right choice while also feeling sad about losing something that once mattered. Both feelings are true at the same time.
Yes. And be prepared for the other person's reaction. They might be understanding, angry, hurt, confused, or relieved themselves. You cannot control their response. You can only control your own behavior.
So if they react with anger or try to argue, you stay calm and do not engage in conflict. You have made your decision. You do not owe them endless explanations or debates.
Exactly. And the 4th step is handling practical logistics. If you share a friend group, you need to navigate that carefully without forcing others to choose sides or creating unnecessary drama.
So how do you handle that situation specifically?
First, do not badmouth your former friend to mutual friends. Keep your reasons private unless someone specifically asks. And even then, keep it brief and factual without excessive negativity.
So you take the high road. You don't try to turn people against them or gather support for your decision. You handle it maturely and privately.
Exactly. And second, accept that some group dynamics might change. You might see them at gatherings. You might need to coordinate attendance at events. This is uncomfortable but manageable if you both act with maturity.
So you stay polite and civil when you do encounter them. You do not create scenes or awkwardness. You simply keep interactions brief and cordial.
Yes. And third, be honest with mutual friends if they ask, but do not overshare. You might say, "We have grown apart and decided to go our separate ways. I respect them and wish them well, but we are no longer close."
So you give a simple, dignified explanation without drama or detail. Most people will respect that and not push for more information.
Exactly. And the 5th step is filling the space the friendship occupied. When you end a significant friendship, there is suddenly free time, emotional space, and maybe even loneliness. You need to be intentional about filling that positively.
So what does that look like practically?
First, invest more energy in your healthy friendships. Reach out to people who make you feel good. Spend more time with them. Deepen those connections. Good relationships deserve your energy.
So you redirect the time and effort you were giving to the unhealthy friendship toward friendships that actually nurture you. That is wise.
Exactly. And second, pursue activities and interests that make you happy. Join groups, take classes, volunteer, explore hobbies. Create a full, rich life that doesn't depend on any single friendship.
So you build a diverse, satisfying life with multiple sources of connection and meaning. That makes you less vulnerable to unhealthy relationships.
Yes. And third, work on yourself. Use this time for personal growth, therapy if needed, building your self-awareness and emotional health. Understand why you stayed in an unhealthy friendship and how to recognize red flags earlier in the future.
So you learn from the experience. You don't just move on, you grow from it. That prevents repeating the same patterns with new people.
Exactly. And the 6th and final step is forgiveness and release. This does not mean reconciling with a person or pretending the problems didn't exist. It means letting go of resentment and anger so they do not poison your life.
So forgiveness is for you, not for them. It is about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of bitterness and hurt.
Exactly. You acknowledge what happened, you accept that the friendship was not healthy, and you release the need to stay angry or hurt. You wish them well from a distance and move forward.
And that release creates space for new, healthier relationships to enter your life. You are not carrying old baggage into new connections.
Yes. So those are the 6 steps. Be certain of your decision, choose the appropriate method, manage your emotions, handle logistics with maturity, fill the space positively, and release through forgiveness. This is how you end a friendship gracefully.
Perfect. Now let's talk about some specific language and phrases people can use in different scenarios. What do you actually say when ending a friendship?
Great question. For a direct, honest conversation with a close friend, you might say, I have really valued our friendship over the years, but I feel like we have grown in different directions. I think it is best for both of us if we take some space and move forward separately.
So you start with acknowledgement and appreciation, then clearly state your decision. You are kind but firm. What if they ask why or try to argue?
You might say, I understand this is difficult, but I have given this a lot of thought, and this is the right decision for me. I wish you well, but my mind is made up.
So you don't get drawn into defending your decision or listing all their flaws. You simply restate that this is your decision and it is final.
Exactly. And if you are setting boundaries instead of fully ending the friendship, you might say, I need to be honest with you. I can't maintain the same level of closeness we used to have. I need to focus on other priorities, but I still care about you and wish you well.
So you are honest about the change while leaving room for a lighter connection. What about if you are ending a toxic friendship where safety is a concern?
In that case, you might send a brief message saying, I need to end our friendship. This is not a discussion or negotiation. I wish you the best, but we will not be in contact anymore. Then you block them immediately.
So you are clear, final, and you protect yourself. You do not leave room for manipulation or continued contact. What if someone is ending a friendship where there was betrayal or hurt?
You might say, what happened between us broke my trust, and I cannot continue this friendship. I need to move forward for my own well-being. I wish you the best.
So you acknowledge what happened without getting into all the details or emotions. You state your decision and move on. What about handling encounters after the friendship is ended?
If you see them at a gathering, you stay polite and brief. A simple, hello, how are you? Good to see you, is enough. Then you move on to talk to other people. You don't avoid them dramatically, but you don't engage deeply either.
So you are civil and mature. You show that you have moved on, and there is no ongoing drama or bitterness. That dignity serves you well.
Exactly. And if mutual friends ask what happened, you might say, we grew apart and decided it was best to go our separate ways. I have nothing but respect for them, but we are no longer close. I would rather not go into details, but I appreciate your understanding.
So you give a simple, dignified explanation without drama or detail. Most people will respect that and not push for more information.
Exactly. And the 5th step is filling the space the friendship occupied. When you end a significant friendship, there is suddenly free time, emotional space, and maybe even loneliness. You need to be intentional about filling that positively.
So what does that look like practically?
First, invest more energy in your healthy friendships. Reach out to people who make you feel good. Spend more time with them. Deepen those connections. Good relationships deserve your energy.
So you redirect the time and effort you were giving to the unhealthy friendship toward friendships that actually nurture you. That is wise.
Exactly. And second, pursue activities and interests that make you happy. Join groups, take classes, volunteer, explore hobbies. Create a full, rich life that doesn't depend on any single friendship.
So you build a diverse, satisfying life with multiple sources of connection and meaning. That makes you less vulnerable to unhealthy relationships.
Yes. And third, work on yourself. Use this time for personal growth, therapy if needed, building your self-awareness and emotional health. Understand why you stayed in an unhealthy friendship and how to recognize red flags earlier in the future.
So you learn from the experience. You don't just move on, you grow from it. That prevents repeating the same patterns with new people.
Exactly. And the 6th and final step is forgiveness and release. This does not mean reconciling with a person or pretending the problems didn't exist. It means letting go of resentment and anger so they do not poison your life.
So forgiveness is for you, not for them. It is about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of bitterness and hurt.
Exactly. You acknowledge what happened, you accept that the friendship was not healthy, and you release the need to stay angry or hurt. You wish them well from a distance and move forward.
And that release creates space for new, healthier relationships to enter your life. You are not carrying old baggage into new connections.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now let us talk about some common mistakes people make when ending friendships. What should people avoid doing?
First mistake, ghosting without explanation in a close friendship. If someone has been important in your life, they deserve at least a brief explanation, not just sudden silence and disappearance.
So ghosting is only appropriate for very casual connections or unsafe situations. For meaningful friendships, some communication is respectful.
Exactly. Second mistake, ending the friendship in anger. Making this decision during a fight or emotional moment often leads to regret and saying things you cannot take back.
So you wait until you are calm and clear-headed. You make this decision from a grounded place, not from heightened emotion.
Yes. And third mistake, over-explaining or justifying. You do not need to write a 10-page letter detailing everything they did wrong. That just creates more hurt and defensiveness.
So you keep it simple and kind. You state your decision without turning it into an attack or criticism session.
Exactly. Fourth mistake, seeking revenge or trying to hurt them. Maybe posting on social media about the friendship ending, spreading rumors, or turning mutual friends against them. This is immature and damages your own reputation.
So you take the high road always. You handle it with dignity, even if they do not. Your character is what matters, not getting the last word.
Yes, and fifth mistake, staying in contact out of guilt or obligation after you have decided to end things. This sends mixed messages and prevents both of you from moving forward cleanly.
So once you make the decision, you follow through. You don't keep going back and forth or maintaining half-hearted contact out of guilt.
Exactly. And final mistake, not learning from the experience. If you keep ending up in unhealthy friendships, there might be patterns you need to address within yourself.
So you reflect on what attracted you to this friendship, what kept you there too long, what red flags you missed. That self-awareness helps you make better choices going forward.
Exactly. So avoid those mistakes and your friendship ending will be much cleaner and healthier for everyone involved.
Perfect. Now let us talk about healing after ending a friendship. What does recovery look like?
First, allow yourself time to grieve. Do not rush yourself to feel fine or over it. Losing a friendship, even an unhealthy one, is a real loss that deserves to be mourned.
So you might feel sad, lonely, or uncertain for a while. That is normal. You don't force yourself to be happy immediately.
Exactly. And second, be gentle with yourself. Do not beat yourself up for staying in the friendship too long or for ending it. You did the best you could with the awareness you had at the time.
So you practice self-compassion instead of self-criticism. You treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend going through something difficult.
Yes, and third, talk about your feelings with someone you trust, a therapist, counselor, or close friend who can listen without judgment. Processing your emotions out loud helps you heal.
So you don't bottle everything up. You allow yourself to be vulnerable and honest about how you are feeling.
Exactly. Fourth, rediscover yourself. Often in close friendships, we adapt our interests, opinions, or behaviors to fit the relationship. Now you can explore who you are independently.
So you might try new activities, express opinions you previously kept quiet, pursue interests the friendship did not support. You reclaim your authentic self.
Yes, and fifth, focus on building healthier relationship skills. Learn to recognize red flags earlier, communicate boundaries clearly, choose people who genuinely support your growth.
So you become more discerning and intentional about who you allow into your inner circle. Quality over quantity in friendships.
Exactly. And finally, trust that you will feel better with time. The pain and discomfort are temporary. As you invest in yourself and healthier relationships, the wound from this friendship ending will heal.
So you have faith in the healing process. It might take weeks or months, but you will emerge stronger, wiser, and ready for better connections.
Exactly. And often people look back months later and realize ending that friendship was one of the best decisions they ever made. They feel lighter, happier, and more themselves.
So let us summarize everything we've covered today. Unhealthy friendships show signs like consistent negativity, one-sided effort, lack of trust, constant drama, growing apart, and negative impact on your well-being.
Yes, and people stay in them due to history, guilt, fear of confrontation, social complications, or simply not knowing how to end things gracefully.
Right. And the process of ending a friendship involves 6 steps. Be certain of your decision, choose the appropriate method based on the situation, manage your emotions, handle logistics maturely, fill the space positively, and practice forgiveness and release.
Exactly. And the 4 main methods are direct conversation for close friendships, gradual fade for less intense ones, boundary setting for partial distance, and clean break for toxic situations.
Right. And we covered specific language to use, common mistakes to avoid like ghosting close friends or ending in anger, and how to heal through grieving, self-compassion, talking to someone, rediscovering yourself, and building better relationship skills.
Yes, and the most important message is that ending an unhealthy friendship is not cruel or selfish. It is an act of self-care and self-respect. You are allowed to choose relationships that support your well-being.
So if you are in a friendship that is draining you or holding you back, you have permission to let it go. You can do it with kindness and grace, but you can and should do it.
Exactly. And remember, just because a friendship ends does not mean it was not valuable or meaningful. People and relationships can be right for a season and then naturally complete. That is okay and normal.
So you can honor what the friendship was while still acknowledging that it's time to move on. Both things are true.
Yes, and as you move forward, trust that you are making space for healthier, more fulfilling connections. The right people are out there, but you have to create space for them by releasing what is not working.
That is beautiful. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. We know this is a difficult topic, and we hope this conversation gave you clarity, courage, and practical tools to navigate ending a friendship gracefully.
Yes, thank you for being here with us and for trusting us with this sensitive topic. We appreciate your openness and your commitment to your own well-being.
And if this episode was helpful, we have many other conversations on Easy English Talk podcast that support your personal growth and relationships. Topics about setting boundaries, building confidence, handling difficult conversations, and developing emotional intelligence.
We create these episodes to help you navigate life's challenges with wisdom and grace, while also improving your English naturally. So please explore our other episodes and find the conversations that resonate with you.
We are here to support you every step of your journey. Thank you again for listening. And remember, choosing yourself is not selfish. It is necessary for a healthy, authentic life.
Take care of yourself. Be brave, be kind, and trust your wisdom. You deserve friendships that honor and support who you truly are.
Take care, everyone. See you next time on Easy English Talk podcast.